Welcome back to another video of Josh Does Things with His Hands. Today we're making something really interesting. It's actually blowing up in New York City right now. It's called a cronut. But basically this guy at this bakery, it's a really nice bakery, he figured out that if you take a croissant and you take a donut and you put them together and you drop them in the deep fryer, they're gonna be frickin' delicious. But we're not just making cronuts. Somebody specifically requested Crunchkins. What are Crunchkins? They're the same thing, but they're like the Munchkins from Dunkin' Donuts. So all you need to do is buy some store-bought or make your own puff pastry. You don't even have to roll it out if you buy it, because what we're actually going to be doing is we're going to be rolling it in layers, and creating those layers with the butter is going to make it all fluffy. By the way, don't mind the blue in my hand, I just blew myself. So I froze the butter, and now I can just grate the butter on, and this is kind of a cool trick because you want the butter ultimately to be really cold to get the true glorious croissant layering. So all I do is I take that, and I'm not even using flour. I didn't want to use flour because flour can be a pain in my bunghole. Start to mash this up, and what you're doing is there's already a lot of butter and layers in here, but every time you add butter and fold it over itself, what's going to happen is you're going to create another layer, so that way when you fry it, it's going to be glorious. Now I'm just going to roll this out. You know, and if you don't have a rolling pin, just use whatever you have. A 40 works great, a wine bottle. I have this bottle we spoke at Penn, and they gave us free bottles, and I haven't used it to drink, but it's actually been a pretty good roller. Because usually rollers are wooden, and wooden rollers are great, but they can be annoying with flour stuff because it sticks to it. And I'm a maniac. Take some more butter. Grate the butter on one side. It doesn't have to be perfect. Look at that, it looks kind of cool. It looks almost like cheese. It's butter cheese. First you saw bacon cheese, and next you have butter cheese. Same thing, I'm just gonna push it over, and I'm just gonna do this 4, 5, 6, however many times I feel like until I'm ready to fry. Great, 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 it's so great, we're grating, this is so great, everybody thinks I'm great. Once I feel good about the amount of times I've layered this thing, like I said, it could be once. I've even saw a recipe where someone didn't do it at all. They just cut this up into donuts and fried it. Talk about lazy, but talk about genius. And all I do at this point is I put this in the freezer or fridge. Fridge for 15-20 minutes because you want the butter to be really cold. If you want to speed it up, just throw it in the freezer for like 10 minutes. And then, in the meantime, you get your oil heated up. Frosting is a really amazing thing, but glazing is a really amazing thing that's even easier than frosting. All you do is take some powdered sugar and any kind of liquid you want. Lemon juice works great. You can even use water. In this case, I thought it'd be kind of cool to try Dr. Pepper. It's got a really interesting, unique, wacky flavor. So all I did was put it in a pan and I boiled it down. Nothing but Dr. Pepper. Just boiled it down until it was reduced by about 75%, and it becomes this like syrupy, just concentrated flavor. You cook out most of the water. So what you do is you just add that to some powdered sugar and just keep whisking. You whisk, you whisk, you whisk, you whisk. You move it around, you shake one down, you pass it around. Everyone loves the thing on the wall. What was that song? You get whatever consistency you want, and then I put it in the fridge just for a couple hours, and it thickened up. And this stuff on top of my little Crunchkin guys is going to be amazing. Usually people stuff them, but that's a lot of work. I want this to be simple. 4 ingredients here, folks. Delicious dessert. You can be incredible. Alright, folks, we are back with this glorious, glorious pastry. All we have to do is take something to cut out little donut holes. In this case, why not use a shot glass? I guarantee you have shot glasses around. Just go like this. Pop them out, and bada bing and bada boom. We've got our little cronuts ready to be fried. Now this extra space here, you can either just fry these bits up, or you can just roll it up again and you know, cut more holes up. I'm gonna do one big one just to make a little bit more of a cronut type deal. Let's see what happens. With frying, it's like cut it up however you want, throw it in, enjoy. Enjoy yourself, enjoy your life. That one's bigger, mine's bigger than yours, ha ha ha. I've got some canola oil in here. It's got a really high smoke point, which is great. When you are frying, smoke point high, always good. Got it at about 340. 350 is fine, but you don't want to go any higher because you want these things to cook all the way through and not brown too much. Got this little thermometer here. These things are great. They're cheap. They work really well. But if you don't have one, just take a little piece of dough and drop it in and just see what happens. If it starts to fry up nice and good, you know your oil is ready to go. So just one at a time, drop these guys in. So if you drop too many in at a time, what's gonna happen is the temperature is just gonna pull all the way down. You don't want that to happen. Look at them now, they're starting to say hello at the top. Oh my lordy. When you first see these guys and you're getting ready to fry them, you're like, that's not gonna become a donut. Look at it, it's so thin. But then when you fry it, look what happens. It gets all poofy and crazy like. Oh god, I don't really know what's happening now. They're like alien status. They're doubling up. They're like creating 2 donuts from 1. Can you see that? See, you never know what's gonna happen when you're cooking. Look at that. Whoa, it's like 2. Oh my god, that's amazing. I have 2 balls now from 1. I never have seen that happen before. Well, then again, I just learned how to make them yesterday. I've only dropped 3 in so far. It looks like I have like 12 of these things in there. Playing with my croissant balls. Munchkins, munchkins, munchkins. If you take them out and you fry them and hey, guess what? They're not actually finished. No big deal. All you do, put them back in. They'll get even more crispy and delicious. Just take them out, put them on some paper towels. Powdered sugar. Doesn't have to be fancy. Just like wham bam, thank you, brother man. Take my Dr. Pepper glaze, give it a quick swishy swashy. Help me! Help me! Mind? I eat out probably about 5% of my meals. At first it was out of necessity, but then it turned to the point where I really just didn't care to eat out that much. But a lot of times I hear about things and I'm like, man, I want to try that. And sometimes the only way to try it is to make it yourself. Maybe you can't afford to get it, or maybe it's only in one area. But you can get inspiration, you pull inspiration, and you try new things. I mean, look. Kidding me? This? Look at this, I'm gonna break into this. It's like, it is amazing. Layer after layer of crispiness. I mean, a fried donut croissant, like, of course you're not gonna screw it up, but I had no idea how good it was gonna be. Good enough to make me do that. For more treats and Brothers Green Eats, subscribe if you haven't, comment in, write. Also, if you click below, there's a donation page. You can donate and get all kinds of cool things like a little mini Brothers Green cookbook. We love you, and we love our Crunchkins. Dangerous.